production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
And PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you.
This time on Broad and High. Learn why much of Dublin was draped in yarn this summer.
So we introduced this concept of yarn bombing or yarn storming.
A Clintonville homeowner uses his backyard shed for something other than storing tools. And meet Dayton cartoonist Mike Peters, the creator behind the beloved comic strip Mother Goose and Grimm. This and more right now on Broad and High. Hey everyone, I'm Kate Quickle and welcome to Broad and High. Today we're at the Cultural Arts Center in downtown Columbus. Joining me here is Jeff Martin, the Arts Administrator, who's going to tell us a little bit more about this venue. Hi Jeff.
Hey.
Thanks for hanging out with me in your beautiful courtyard.
Thanks, glad to have you here.
This is great. So tell me a little bit about the Cultural Arts Center. What do you want people to know?
Yeah, sure. Well, the Cultural Arts Center is a visual arts center for adults right here, as you said, in downtown Columbus. We have 9 different studios where anyone in the city can come and take an art class and learn about all kinds of things, anything from ceramics to painting to things like book arts, sculpture, jewelry and metals. There's lots to learn here.
Yeah. So are you guys part of the Columbus Parks and Rec? Is that correct?
That's exactly right. We're part of the Recreation and Parks Department. And the mission of the Recreation and Parks Department is to provide opportunities for everyone in the city and enrich the lives of our citizens. And we do that through lots of things. We have parks, we have trails, we have sports facilities, and then we have arts centers for people who love the arts.
So this building is historic. It's been here for a while. Can you tell me the background?
Yeah, it's a pretty old building. It's one of the oldest in Columbus here.
Really?
It actually was built in 1861 as the Ohio State Arsenal. So if you can imagine that, before we were painting and drawing here, they were keeping their guns and munitions in this building.
That's crazy. I wouldn't expect that at all. It's a fun fact.
But it's a beautiful building, and it's really amazing how it's transitioned over to being such a great facility for arts.
I know, it's incredible. I mean, you got me there. Speaking of transitions, our next segment kind of has a similar theme, where when you think about something that used to be something and now serves a totally different purpose, we're taking a look at a backyard shed in Clintonville. You think of a shed storing equipment for gardening, your tools, but a really inspired owner has transformed it into a place where you can experience art. So it's kind of amazing.
Cool.
You guys should check it out.
So the shed is a shed that we have gutted. We've whitewashed the walls. We put flooring down to create a space for artists to experiment. I think the funny thing for me is how concerned people are about, well, where's your stuff?
Yeah, the first thing that people often ask is like, well, where's your lawnmower? And I'm like, well, it's under a tarp on the side of the house. I think this is one of the interesting things about the shed, is that it can be, rather than a space where you store tools or boxes that don't fit in your full basement, it can be reimagined as something else. And I think like letting go of some of those material aspects of our culture has been like really freeing. Our exhibitions are one-night events.
And then the community gets to experience it for that one night. So it gives it a little bit of exclusivity, a sense of urgency to come see it. And it's also a space for people to have conversation, for the community to get together. I think being, again, in our backyard, it is an inviting space and a space that's not intimidating for those that are not used to going to see some art that's a little bit more edgier. We relocated to Columbus about 4 years ago.
Amanda's from North Carolina, I'm from Texas, and so we don't have any family here. And so when we moved here into this house and we had the shed, my first impulse for us was to make a project that somehow built community. This project kind of develops a family for us, a family of friends. I invite artists to the shed. Keith made a painting on the doors of the shed. He used the front doors as a canvas. as a painting surface.
And so I guess here the doors act as that stretcher structure, the grid, the modernist grid, what we use to sort of organize ourselves. And I mean, so there's that conversation I'm having, it's abstraction. There's nothing here that is referential to our real world except the shed itself. I mean, we might have a relation to the color schemes that are happening here, which are a smorgasbord of colors. It's usually, I mean, I like color. I like being loud and.
So for Ron's exhibition, we installed peepholes into the front doors of the shed. And then inside he hung prints that he made specifically for the exhibition and projected over them an animation that he had made for the exhibition. And we closed the doors and locked them, and so the only way to view the installation was to look through the peepholes. I really like this aspect of the shed, that we turn what is normally a private space, the backyard, into a public space. The question is, if a shed can become an art space or a cultural space, or even an art gallery, then like what else can we reimagine? And the shed is gonna change the world. That's not good.
Programming at the shed is done for the season, but keep an eye on its webpage for when it will start up again in the summer. You can also find the shed on Facebook and Instagram. Our next story takes us to Dublin, where volunteers spent months working on a project to celebrate International Yarn Bombing Day. If you happen to notice that the field of corn was draped in fiber garments this summer, then you won't want to miss this amazing segment. Get it? Corn pun.
We're bombing the Dublin Arts Council Public Art Collection. Well, Yarn Over Dublin, it's something that started in 2014. We talked about doing work with the community as opposed to for the community. We hadn't really worked with the senior community before, so we wanted to reach out with something that was hands-on and tactile, and so we introduced this concept of yarn bombing or yarn storming, and this involves 10 different locations and 10 different senior living facilities.
Before the first of the year was more teaching or reteaching skills that people had 20, 30, or 50 years ago. There you go. And kind of getting them reintroduced to knitting and crochet.
I am knitting a very straight beginner project, which is just knit, no purl, nothing else. Well, it's going to be different for me because I've always did things you could wear or use. My last thing I remember knitting was a set of golf club covers in an Aran Isle knit, which is quite challenging.
So sometimes you walk by public art or you drive by public art and you don't notice it anymore because it becomes part of the landscape. So the idea was to reintroduce the collection to the public.
Did you find it, Lois?
I found mine.
Oh, you did? Oh, let's see.
Yeah,
I love it. Oh, that's so great.
Well, it's more than just an art project. It's bringing people together to commune, to talk about their daily life.
I get to learn about them too, which has been a kind of a gift of this project, is me being able to learn a lot about this particular group of people and how vital they are to our community. And that's part of the statement that we want to make. with Yarn Over Dublin collection is that our senior population is a vital part of our community, and we want them to be active in our community, and this is just a statement to say that. The collection will stay up for a month, and then after it's finished, we'll take it down and make them into usable pieces and donate them to charity. So this piece is a circular piece. It's crocheted. It came from Going, Going, Gone. We're folding them in half, and then we are repurposing them to be a shawl that people can wrap around them during the winter and keep themselves warm. The charity that we're going to donate the already made items, hats, scarves, blankets, shawls, will go to a charity. It's called My Own Backyard.
We started 17 years ago, feeding the homeless. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to wrap the blankets up in bags and get them ready to send out to the homeless ministry, to the people on the streets. That's what we're going to do with this stuff. And we feel real blessed that more and more people are getting involved.
We had no idea going into it that it would be this meaningful to such a large group of people.
Of course, we will use the remaining yarn for next year's project.
Next, we head to Yellow Springs, where a potter there has built a wood-fired kiln that requires dozens of volunteers to stoke the fire for 5 days straight, sometimes in 24-hour shifts. This project results in more than just beautiful pots and platters. It forges a community.
Wood firing is the oldest way that people fired pots to over 2,400 degrees. The process of the firing itself is unbelievably beautiful. It's primal. There's something very basic and in a way scary about it. It's a real honor to be part of that tradition.
The kiln really becomes a living thing.
You can hear the draft, you can hear the expansion, you can hear the pots within.
We feed that energy, we feed that monster, and we try to control it, but really, the fire's the thing that's in control.
I make pots for 3 to 4 months. I give myself that amount of time. I typically have a theme. And partly for my own interest, because I want to work towards something and I want to have a body of work that reflects that thought. It's actually always been important to me to make functional pots. It's a dialogue that you have with that person when you use their mug or their plate, and it makes you think of them, and once you know them and have that relationship with them, it's nice to have that daily reminder of them. The kiln is roughly 450 cubic feet, and there's anywhere between 1 and 5,000 pots that can fit in the kiln, depending on the size. I always give myself 2 weeks to load the kiln, and that's 2 weeks of carrying boards out, fitting things in, thinking of the flame, how the flame's going to travel through the kiln, what glazes can go in the front and back in the kiln. You want the heat and the air to move through the kiln, and certain places of the kiln you want it to slow down, and certain places you want it to move through. When we fire the kiln, you'll learn about whether or not the decisions you made are the right ones. I start the kiln on a Tuesday, and it's just the preheat. It's a warm fire just to dry things out. And then Friday morning, I start raising the temperature 100 degrees an hour, usually by myself during the day Friday. And then people start showing up, and shifts of people, they take over. And we go through the night Friday, and then most of Saturday, and the kiln usually fires off during the day on Saturday.
My role at the firing has evolved into kind of leading the night shift, and it's my role to continue to raise the temperature in a careful fashion and make sure that we don't go too fast or too slow.
There's a danger in raising the temperature too much in the kiln, because a lot of these pots are going to go in the kiln, go in raw. You don't want to shock them at any point because they can bubble, they can crack, and so you have to raise the temperature pretty precisely. The ultimate reason why I wood fire is because of how it marks every pot. The pots on the very front face of the kiln, they're going to get the most ash because that's right past the firebox where most of the wood gets burned. But it's not until later in the firing when you start to melt the glazes and the ash on the pots where it fuses onto the pot. And that's the reason why we wood fire, is because you get those beautiful colors and unpredictable surfaces on every pot. The crew of people that help fire are really good friends now. I'm always really happy to see them. We share all the firings in common, and to get 2400 degrees with wood is a chore. And we enjoy doing it because we have that sense of accomplishment when it's done.
I've never missed one. There's huge connections, friendships that have been maintained and stayed through the years, so that's always a bonus.
One of the things that I think is most powerful about the firing here is the sense of community, the gathering of people coming from far, far away and right here in our village to collaborate on an artist's work, and for him to allow other people to have their hand in his art is something that is really interesting to me.
Every firing is a learning experience. There's a few things that can damage the pots. One of them is cold air. The reason we have the two people on each side opening the side ports and closing them at the same time, communicating with each other, is to minimize the amount of air that's going into the kiln. The firing will end on a Saturday afternoon, and then we brick and seal everything up and make sure that when I say cold air getting into the kiln, you can't have a little opening. The size of a pinhole will damage the pots. And then Wednesday, I start unbricking the door. The firing was good because most of the pots came out well. Usually the front of the kiln has good pots, but it was distributed throughout the kiln so that most of the pots came out well. When I was taking pots out of the kiln, to see that bright color and to see how the combination of glazes and color and pencil and pigments was really, really exciting. The crew is unbelievable. I mean, they're the reason why every firing is getting better. We're learning how to use less wood, how to do things at certain times to make it better, the right amount of air to go into the kiln. And it's all from experiments of the crew helping and us figuring things out together. So overall, it was one of the best firings.
You know, they used to say that the pot is the man, and the more you know the individual, the more you'll be able to see many of his qualities in the pot. It's all there.
We've built a relationship because of pots, right? This clay has formed something far more than just a decorative piece on someone's table. There's this huge family connection. It's a family piece. It's a family firing.
He's really embraced tradition, and really, I think that's what great artists always do. They study the tradition, they understand the roots and where the tradition comes from, they develop the technical skills, and then they go on to create something new. He's done that.
He's still creating art the same way that they did thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. I think that's pretty incredible.
There's nothing else. I literally couldn't do anything else now in my life and extract as much joy from what I do.
If you're a fan of the funnies, then you're probably familiar with the comic strip Mother Goose and Grimm. It chronicles the antics of a mischievous bull terrier and his motherly caretaker. Artist Mike Peters, who developed the series in 1984 when he was living in Dayton, now calls Florida home, but he still creates his syndicated cartoon for the Dayton Daily News. Here's his story.
I still work for the Dayton Daily News in Dayton, Ohio, but it's like I live there because I have my computer. I get on their thing and I hear the newscast, what they think are the top stories, and I go, okay, I can do a cartoon about that, you know. And my editors, they're always amazed that I am so attuned about what's going on in Dayton, Ohio.
He worked for the Chicago Daily News and then the Dayton Daily News as an editorial cartoonist. And after he won the Pulitzer in 1981, he was being courted by bigger papers.
The syndicates had been asking me to do a comic strip, which is very rare. I mean, you know, usually you have to go and beg to do a comic strip to the syndicates. But I had been syndicated with my political cartoons.
He really we liked living Dayton, and we liked our kids growing up in Dayton, and he said he'd always wanted to do a comic strip and maybe that would be a good outlet.
But it never dawned on me that I was going to be doing it every day of my life for the next 30 years. I had no idea. So I'm going to art school, but in the meantime, I meet this girl, fabulous girl. You know? Well, it turns out her father was the dean of students at Washington University.
And in art school, he did what he did best, which was draw cartoons for, you know, the newspaper and the yearbook and stuff, instead of going to class, because nobody ever told him going to class is a good idea, until he met this one professor who said, you're a great cartoonist, do cartoons.
He said, when you go to figure drawing class, don't draw a figure, exaggerate it, exaggerate the figure, make it into a cartoon. When you go to painting class, paint a cartoon. When you go to design class, design a cartoon. I said, Mr. Burnell, won't they get mad? He said, Mike, you're already flunking, it's okay.
And then, much to my father's dismay, he started getting A's and B's and actually graduated.
It changed my life. I knew then that cartoons was my destiny, was my goal, was my bliss. I loved to do them, and obviously the world is telling me, you got to do this. If you try to make up something, it's not as real as if you just do it right out of your life. And a lot of my stuff is right out of my life.
The comic strip came about pretty much out of his head, characters that he'd always played around with. And then the dog is him, he's the dog. And one time I proved it because the dog drinks out of toilets. Well, he doesn't do that, but he does eat out of trash cans. And I caught him. He was trying to wean himself off of Fritos.
So Marion came in one day to my office, and she said, what are you doing? And I came up, and I'm licking my finger and getting the crumbs of the Fritos down at the bottom. And she says, oh my God, you're the dog. I never realized I was a dog. I always thought the dog was just this entity that I was trying to do funny cartoons, but I was the dog. And once I learned that, the strip all came together. And I've been having a great time ever since. I'm in about 700 papers around the country, around the world, so it's great.
He is a very prolific creator. He comes up with thousands. I mean, all these pages here are filled with 50 or 100 ideas, which he won't use.
When I start a cartoon, I'm just writing ideas down, and then anything that hits my mind, I start developing it.
Any other cartoons would use the very first one and be done for the day. Whoa!
I still don't know if I'm going to do it, you know, and so it's over there.
Sometimes the standards are a little too high, and there's a deadline, and then there's standards. And I say, okay, go with the best of all these horrible ideas you came up with, any one of which most cartoons would kill for, you know.
And this was, my daughters are always saying to me, Dad, you've got a bat in the cave. And I was thinking, who could say that? So I have Lincoln saying to Roosevelt, Teddy, you've got a bat in your cave, which I thought was a funny idea because he probably does have a bat in his cave. But that's how I come up with ideas. I think of things, I write things down that my kids say or that people say on the news or that I see at a grocery store, and then I try to make it into something that's funny that people will hopefully laugh at. I know when I'm hitting my truth, it'll hit the truth of 1,000 other people out there. And then I always get good reaction from people because they say, oh my God, it's exactly true for me.
That's our show. Be sure to check out all of our stories at WOSU.org. Also, you can find them on the WOSU Public Media mobile app. And be sure to give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're taking you out today with Don't Cry by the Columbus-based indie rock band Fool's Fire. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again next week for more great stories on Broad and High.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
And PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you.